So I'd like to welcome Principal Linda Bell and her team from Jim Thorpe Fundamental School, Santa Ana, California. Welcome. Could you talk to us a little bit about why you have such a strong team of educators at your school? What has influenced the development of the climate and culture among teachers at your school?
I would say that collaboration plays a very big part in developing strong teachers, and they collaborate very well. We use a protocol that allows the teachers to have definite roles when they collaborate and to make it a most productive session. And they are able to share ideas, talk about uniformity across grade levels, and maintaining high expectations. I also would like to add that we have many talented teachers at the school, so there are a lot of great ideas to be shared. And I think they recognize that as they talk to each other and learn from each other and begin to expand on what they're doing, perhaps in a way that they hadn't done it before.
I would like to add that I feel like they're very committed teachers. Actually, I was just having a conversation. I met with a parent this morning, and she was telling me that she was very pleased with one of our teachers because her child, when she came to our school, she was at a second grade level, and this teacher was giving up his actually meeting with her before and after school for an additional hour, and this student actually ended up being above grade level at the end of the year. So it's that type of commitment that we see at Thorpe.
Additionally, we opened in 1999, and many of the original team members are still together. And so I think that really has created a strong climate for us and a great bond as a team. And we do feel like we are a team. And then, of course, we have great administration, so I think it trickles down. They share their expectations with us, and then we're able to take what they're hoping for us to do and run with it. And they really do release that to us, so that really adds to it.
Is there a specified time for collaboration, or is it something that's organic?
There's a specified time for collaboration on Wednesdays. At least 2, sometimes 3 Wednesdays a month they get to collaborate, and beyond that they will meet with us on Wednesdays, and oftentimes I'll give over my meeting for collaboration. We really have, in addition to them having an agenda and following up with minutes, there are those elements that build in accountability, and they also work through an instructional steering committee of leaders at each grade level that talk about some things that need to be discussed school-wide, and then they discuss things at grade level, and then sometimes vertically with all of the other teams.
And the agenda that we're given largely is based on what we as a team, for example, at a grade level, feel we need. So rather than the administration telling us this is what you're talking about this week, they allow us to choose the topics that we feel are most relevant for our grade level and for our needs as well.
I find that it's all really based on high expectations, and that became very apparent this year. We have 11 new teachers at the school, and when they came in, they're very good teachers. But it was really interesting. You mentioned that so many of our teachers are original staff, and they had very high expectations. So with the new ones coming on, they wanted to be a part of what was happening, and were very interested in hearing how things were done already, and wanting to then add their own particular talents to the mix. So it's just a very collaborative, kind of rich setting for professionals to work together, I think.
Sounds like a wonderful culture. If a student wanted to achieve great results like your school has achieved, what should they do to improve teaching? What are some practical things that they can do?
The teachers?
To improve teaching, what should they do?
Well, I know one of the things that I do in my classroom at the beginning of the year is establish strong classroom management, and I think that's a really important part of having a good educational environment and being successful with your students. I would say at the beginning of the year I spend more time on classroom management than I do worrying about some of the smaller things, so that once that's established I can then move forward and have the most effective time with my students and learning. So I would always suggest that to be successful, establish the a clear set of rules and expectations in your classroom for those students.
Could you give some specific examples of some tactics that you
I'm a
use?
huge fan of Harry Wong, so I always recommend to teachers to use, he's been around for a long time, but his strategies are wonderful from the book that he wrote called First Days of Teaching, and he has procedures that are set in place immediately. He practices those procedures with his students. He's very repetitive with it, and that really does just create a routine in the classroom so that we're not wasting time on insignificant things. And again, at those first 4 weeks, maybe a lot of time is put into learning those routines, but once that's established, then the rest of the time during the school year is spent learning and not having to worry about those other details.
I find that the teachers make very smart investments of that kind, and that allows them to then focus the rest of their instructional time on rigorous instruction. And you asked what improves teaching, and it's rigor in instruction that needs to take place. How you use those instructional minutes makes all the difference in the world. So they're continually part of that collaborative experience, discussing ways that they can best address issues or elements that they're trying to teach, and really refine their practices.
I can see that there's a lot of high expectations in part of the teachers. There's they utilizing a lot of strategies, thinking maps, and also most of the teachers are utilizing the thinking tools that help our students become more successful.
The students we interviewed from your school seemed to believe that they had a great chance to succeed academically. They thought that learning was interesting and exciting. What have you done to influence how students feel about learning and their future?
One of the things that I think of right away is the fact that we have such a connection with the home and the family. And because we work together as a partnership, children become aware of that pretty easily, and suddenly school has more significance for them when they see that their parents are really so involved and talking with the teacher on an ongoing basis, perhaps even talking with me or talking with Mr. Ramirez. And we problem solve together, and they know that we're an extension of their home. It's not just some place that they go to. So I think that's pretty important.
From the very first year that we opened, we've always implemented the idea of being college bound. And so our students know that maybe they're not necessarily going to go to a university, but maybe they'll go to a trade school, some sort of education after high school, and we really encourage that, and scholarliness as well. And I think our teachers are really, really good at finding creative ways to instruct and looking at that curriculum and asking themselves, how can I bring this into the classroom so that the students are enjoying it? And not that we want to try and make learning fun so that they think it's a game, but so that it's interesting to them, and they're motivated to take it on and move forward with it.
But I think in a way for them it's fun because the teachers give them the right tools for them to be successful, and that gives them that urge to keep learning and be successful and be confident.
And it feels good.
Yeah,
It feels good.
and when we have collaboration, it's always fun for us to look at the curriculum and say to one another, what is it that you're doing? How are you bringing this curriculum into the classroom? How are you instructing the students, and how are you making it more interesting?
It
So
almost sounds like you make it come alive.
we try to. I really think we do. That is one of our goals, definitely.
So can you speak just a little bit or an example about the college focus? How is that exemplified within the school?
I just want to say that my predecessor, the principal who opened the school, opened it with the foundational belief that all children are college-bound scholars. And so from the very beginning, that's been a theme that has prevailed at the school. And in every classroom, we have posters that say college-bound scholars. And if you walked into our office area, you would see different pennants from all the various colleges around the country, and the expectation is such, and there is discussion to the effect that they are being prepared to go to college so that they can do anything that they want to do. And we do that regularly.
We have college spirit days where they're allowed to wear some sort of spirit shirt from a university or college of their choice, and Many of the teachers create teams in their classroom based on university names and college names. So they're definitely inundated in it.